Now to the other big story that we're tracking this morning, the AgustaWestland chopper deal will be debated in the Rajya Sabha today.
In fact, the BJP will raise the issue and try to corner the UPA on the chopper deal. Opposition alleges that UPA had bent rules and flouted norms to give a go-ahead to AgustaWestland VVIP choppers. However, the government defended itself, saying the rules were changed by the NDA regime in 2003. The opposition wants a probe monitored by the Supreme Court and not a JPC as offered by the government. This comes even as the BJP holds its first parliamentary meet in this budget session. All right, for more on that, we are being joined by CNN IBN's Arunday Mukherjee is joining us from the capital. Arunday, first of all, let's just talk about the investigation. The preliminary inquiry has been filed by the CBI, but clearly doesn't say much about what kind of documents were accessed by the CBI in the first place.
Certainly, there are still questions as to on what basis was that PE actually filed, because the CBI failed to get any crucial documents, as we know, because the Italian agencies had refused to part with any documentary evidence. But that is now a thing of the past, Priyali, because now the fact is that a PE has been registered. Now, the job of the CBI is to sustain that preliminary inquiry and turn it into a regular complaint or an FIR. For that, now what we know is that the CBI, armed with the PE, what they can essentially do now is that they will be issuing over the next few days summons to all those individuals who they have named in their preliminary inquiry, which includes the Tyagi brothers, which includes the former Air Chief Marshal and certain individuals of Aeromatrix, the former director, as well as the present CEO of Aeromatrix. So the next step that we'll see the CBI take, and interestingly during Parliament session, is to question all these people at CBI headquarters and try and get to the bottom of what really happened, and that's really going to be the next step for the CBI.
Our Deputy Chief of National Bureau, Pallavi Ghosh, too, joining us from the newsroom on what we can expect in Parliament today. Pallavi, how difficult is it going to be for the government to actually defend what, as clearly as we have seen, is hardly anything into this probe in a way?
Yeah, but I think the government's hope spins on the fact that it's going to be using pretty much a repeat of the same argument which they have been giving in that detailed fact sheet which is actually released by the Defence Ministry. Essentially, government's argument is one, that the norms or the specs were changed in 2003 and that was during the NDA regime, and second, whatever irregularities have taken place have actually happened because of this change of specs. So they point out, I mean, this question is often asked by the opposition, why AgustaWestland has been given that deal. What was this commission which was involved? What was the money which was paid out? The government's reply to this, of course, is very simple, that you've changed the specs in such a way that they were the only ones who could actually get the deal. However, this is an argument by the government which certainly has not cut ice with the opposition. Prakash Javadekar, who has been raising this issue in the past, is going to be raising this issue roughly around 2 o'clock in Rajya Sabha. The argument is simple. Okay, fine, the NDA did change their specifications, but where were the commissions paid? Their allegations around over 4,000 crore rupees was actually paid as commissions and as bribes. Who did get those? Who were the beneficiaries? I think that's going to be the talking point in Rajya Sabha today.
All right, Pallavi, Arunday, thanks so much for joining us. We'll come back to you through the day for more updates.